These are the 20 strongest characters from World of One Piece. Let's get started. We will start the list with Kozuki Oren. He is one of the handful of people capable of using all kinds of haki, including advanced conquerors. On his younger days, he fought against likes of Whitebeard and Scopper Gerban, but the most impressive feat was against Kaido. He gave permanent scar to Kaido, a feat no one could break for next 20 years, and he most likely would have won the fight if not for that old hag. Kaido was so impressed by his strength, he put him alongside likes of Roser, Whitebeard, Savik and Sengs as people capable of fighting him. Definitely deserves being in the list. Next, I have Admiral Kizaru, who is a user of Logia type Pika Pika no Mi that allows him to become light and makes him the fastest character of whole show. He is capable of using two kinds of haki, including advanced augment, but his most power comes from his insane devil fruit that let him move, travel and perform attacks at the speed of light. He overpowered Snake Man Luffy and managed to fight against Gear 5. He lost that fight and was getting overpowered, but Luffy also ran out of stamina at last, making it technical jaw. Definitely an impressive feat. What's about another former admiral, Aokiji, another Logia user with Hei Hei no Mi. He can create, control and transform into ice, and similarly as Kizaru, he is capable of using two kinds of haki. He was literally introduced as the strongest man in the marine headquarters, but his statement is no longer valid after he lost against another admiral, Akainu, in 10 days long battle. As a result, he left Navy and joined Blackbeard pirates, becoming one of the 10 Titanic captain of the crew. And recently he was overpowered by Garp in their fight. Although he lost, both of his battles were quite impressive, enough to put him 18th on the all-time list. Next, I have his captain, Marcelites aka Blackbeard. He's only character with two devil fruit power and both are one of the best of their type. Yami Yami no Mi lets him become darkness and absorb literally anything including devil fruit based attacks. And Gura Gura no Mi, the most destructive fruit that allows him to generate shockwaves capable of creating earthquake and tsunami. He is capable of using two kinds of haki and feat wise he overpowered Boa Hancock and defeated Trafalgar Law. But he is portrayed as one of the biggest challenges in the road of becoming Pirate King for Luffy, so he will rise higher and higher as the story progresses. But for now, this is good. Slightly above Blackbeard, I have current fleet admiral Akainu. His devil fruit Mago Mago no Mi that makes him Magma is the most offensive devil fruit in whole One Piece, and we saw what he is capable of during Marineford War. He managed to put hole and destroy half face of world's strongest man, and during time skip he fought and won the 10 days long legendary battle against Aokiji. He is confirmed to be user of two kinds of haki, including advanced augment. He also have great portrayal as major antagonist for future arcs, but as of now it's quite tough to rank him. Entering into top 15, we have Dark King Rayleigh, the first mate and right hand man of Pirate King himself. He is a haki monster capable of using all kinds of haki, including advanced version of all three. Despite his old age, he managed to fight against Kizaru, and even Emperor Blackbeard doesn't wanna mess with him, which clearly hints how strong he might be during his prime. But yeah, we still haven't seen much from him, so I won't be surprised if he is even more stronger. Next, I have 5 people, 5 builders of old government. Despite many of us assuming them to be just like other Celestial Dragons, they come out to be quite strong individuals. So far we have only seen power of Zagarcia Saturn, as him being user of Awakened Mythical Zone Devil Fruit, and I'm sure other 4 have similar power as well. Recently we have seen Saturn being capable of casting Telekinesis Aura and healing himself, and his magic circle is still a mystery. Actually, most of the things about 5 builders is mystery, so it's quite tough to say actually how strong these guys are. It's just me assuming them to be this much, but might need to make change after a couple of chapters. Above 5 builders, I have former Yonko Big Mom. She has immense physical strength, as at just 5 years of age she overpowered multiple giants like nothing. She is capable of using all 3 kinds of haki, including advanced conquerors and advanced augments, and her durability is so insane that just damaging her is considered a great feat. And her fruit Sorusuru no Mi has one of the best hacks in whole One Piece. Although she lost against Law and Care, it can still be argued she was stronger than both of them. But there are still 12 more characters stronger than her, so let's take a look at them. And here comes the world's strongest swordman, Dracula Mihawk. He gained fame by defeating stronger and stronger foes until he had no worthy challengers. We all were hyped up on his introduction, and it's been more than 1000 chapters and we still are hyped up to see him in action. Ranking him is one of the toughest tasks for me, as wherever I put him, not everyone will agree. I'm not diving into same Shanks vs Mihawk debate going from 8th, so let's just say it's my opinion, and his power level is most likely going to change after we see him in action. The main character of the show comes next. Monkey D. Luffy is user of mythical zone fruit Hito Hito no Mi Moral Nika, arguably the most broken devil fruit in the world, as the awakening literally grant Luffy to fight in a way he can imagine. But not only hacks, this boosts Luffy's already impressive physical strength to the next level, and we can't forget he can use all 3 kinds of haki, including advanced version of each of them. He couldn't make it into my top 10 as he still have some stamina issues while using Gear 5. But it also means there are still characters that he needs to and will surpass in the future. But before going to top 10, honorable mention to Fingerland Garling and Kong. Both of them are portrayed being quite strong, but as of now, due to lack of enough information, even just assuming their strength is quite tough. I would probably rate them around 18th, 19th position, but I just thought let's not include them. The first character into my top 10 is Monkey D. Dragon. Supreme leader of Revolutionary Army is still one of the most mysterious characters of One Piece. Although his strength level is mostly unknown, he has crazy portrayal as the most wanted criminal. As he is directly opposing world government, I am certain he is going to fight someone extremely strong, and to do that he needs to be strong. It's just a speculation, but he at least deserves being this high. But we have little bit more information about legendary Marine Sengoku. He's a user of mythical zone fruit that let him transform into Golden Buddha. But he's not only good devil fruit user, he can use all 3 kinds of haki as well. Despite his old age, he clashed equally against Blackbeard and most likely would have won the fight. And on his prime, he fought some legendary pirates like Siki. We shouldn't underestimate old generation, like even in their old age they managed to pull out some crazy feats, so we can only imagine how strong they were on their prime. But who is currently in his prime? Well, it's red-haired Shanks. As the only Yonko without devil fruit, his haki is just crazy. He can use all 3 kinds of haki, and I'm certain he knows advanced application of all of them. Or maybe even to the next stage we are not familiar with. His Conqueror's haki literally knocked out Vice Admiral and even scared a Marine Admiral. He one-shotted Eustace Kid like nothing, and his portrayal was always been impressive. What else do you need to put him this high? Definitely deserves it. 7th, I have Kaido. His story ended recently as he lost a battle against Luffy, but we can't forget the feats he showed to us. He one-shotted Luffy in their first encounter, he clashed against fellow Emperor Big Mom, but the most impressively, he fought against Akazaya, 5 Supernova members, Yamato, Momonosuke, and defeated Luffy 3 times in a single night. And he still managed to fight against Gear 5 Luffy, giving us clear idea of his stamina, durability and endurance. He has crazy physical strength, mythical zone fruit, as well as all 3 kinds of haki including advanced conquerors, mastered in pretty much every category. Garp is considered a living legend and is arguably the strongest marine of all time. In their prime, Roger stated that he and Garp had almost killed each other many times. And despite his old age, we saw what Garp can do to someone like Aokiji. In terms of physical strength, no one seems superior to him so far. He's among a handful of people capable of using all 3 kinds of haki, including advanced conquerors and advanced armament. Alongside Roger, he had huge role on defeat of Rock's pirate. As well as with Sengoku, he managed to defeat Siki. With insane feats and portrayal, no one disagrees. Garp was a monster on his prime. But there was someone who fought both Garp and Sengoku at the same time, Golden Lion Siki. He also had a war against Roger pirates known as Edward, and of course the Battle of Gore Valley. Although he lost every single of them, he still impressed all his opponents. Siki has Fua Fua no Mi, which allows him to levitate non-living things and himself. But other than that, we don't know much of his abilities. Movie Strong World did him dirty though, as he literally lost to pre-time skip Luffy, but that's just a non-canon movie, and with canon events, I'm certain he was a legend level character. Fourth on the list, I have Goldie Roger, and what is there to explain about him? He is the greatest pirate of all time, simply the Pirate King. He did not have devil fruit, but he knew all kinds of haki, including advanced version of all of them. He fought many legends like Garp, Siki, Whitebeard, etc. And we consider these guys legendary because they fight Roger. So Roger simply was a legend among legends. Third on the podium is Roger's eternal rival Edward Newgate, aka Whitebeard. Whitebeard was stated equal to Roger multiple times, and we also saw them fighting for 3 days and 3 nights straight, and fight was a draw. Whitebeard was physically quite impressive, as despite his old age and sickness, he showed us what he is capable of in Marineford War. He also had immense haki mastery, enough to clash equally against Roger, and his devil fruit Gura Gura no Mi is arguably the most destructive fruit of whole One Piece. Few people believe Whitebeard was slightly stronger because he had the title of World's Strongest Man, while some take side with Roger, but I would say they were equal. Second on the list, I have Rox Dzevek. We have very little information about him, but simply the fact that he was captain of the crew consisting of people like Whitebeard, Siki, Big Mom, Kaido, etc. clearly tells us how strong this guy needs to be. He lost the War of Gore Valley against alliance made by Garp and Roser. I mean, a pirate and marine needed to make alliance to defeat him. Definitely lot more stronger than many of us might assume. But even above marines and pirates, there is a lurking legend, Emu. What's even there to talk about him? He rules over the world, even 5 builders who all looks extremely strong works under him, and he most likely will be final villain of the story. Definitely the strongest character so far, at least safe to assume so. Well, that's all. Check out this full top 60 list if you haven't already, and see you there.